Well, well, well. Looks like it's dev hour, and looks like something is screwy. Something is very screwy. My face, my face. Where's my face? Just a moment while I attempt to repair my face. Okay. What it says in the title is not the actual plan today. Let's quickly fix that. That is exactly as boring as it sounds like it is. 100% precisely as boring as it sounds like it is. I'm going to quickly announce that there is a dev stream happening. That is not how I do that. Let's try that again. This is exceedingly boring administrative stuff, but it's exceedingly boring administrative stuff that has to happen. Sometimes the exceedingly boring administrative stuff is important. The experimental video is becoming the default video, which also means that Jitsi for video is becoming an advanced option rather than the default. That should not involve any changes to the Ennuicastr client, only the Ennuicastr server, which currently has no differences. That's good. I just did that automatically. It just always seems like a good idea. Let's go ahead and make sure that anything that's in the origin is merged. Okay, this should be relatively straightforward, I think. Sorry if you hear the AC in the background. Is the AC even doing anything? No. What the hell? The AC is in some weird broken mode. It's just making sound and not making cold air. Wow, it's in a particularly broken. What the? One moment. I'm just gonna quickly figure out what the hell is going on with. Let me just debug unrelated systems. It's now on but doing nothing. Oh wait. Oh! It decided it's actually on. It just had to. My AC had an existential moment there, deciding what was happening. It's fine. Everything's great. It's not even hot in here. Okay, where was I? Right, so this is going to be in the recording stuff mainly. There's like several places where this ends up being, unfortunately. Maybe there's a better way for me to organize this, but if there is, I haven't thought of it yet. Yeah, here we go. So what I'm looking for is RT Ennui video and Jitsi audio. I want Jitsi video, because that's now the option. And the RT Ennui video can go away, because that's now the default. So now the way this needs to work is if you want to use Jitsi audio, you have to use Jitsi video? Wait, does that... Yeah. Yes, yeah. You have to use Jitsi video if you want to use Jitsi audio. Okay, this is going to be extended option Jitsi video. Let's write a new alt text for this. Oh, write a new alt text, by which I mean use the alt text I had already conveniently written, anticipating that I would need it later. Hooray! And something has Jitsi audio hider doing its thing. I see. Yeah, okay, so if this is checked, then I do not want to hide that, otherwise I do. So that flips, which makes a lot of sense. And now that's the default. And fine, we'll update it by default as well. Okay. So, how does this work? Yeah, this is 1000. Because the RT on Wii options were 200 and 400, and so Jitsi ended up being 800 and 1000, and I'm just changing what the defaults are. But I do have to change it in the client. I do have to change it in the client, too. Because the client needs to know how to interpret these. So even though the default will probably go to what I need it to be, the override won't work without changing it in the client. That's no big deal. It is a very small change. Okay, so the interface is most of it, but there's a few just random bits lying around. I guess not in here, though. Yes, in here, though. Update your copyright headers. None of this. Oh, of course, yeah, I have to actually just take the Jitsi video option. So Jitsi... Yes, if you said Jitsi video and you said Jitsi audio, okay. Makes sense that that is the only one. Yeah, default, okay, a lot of things that I historically would have always needed to update, I don't now, because I'm just sticking this in an object, because nothing really cares. Okay, so that's the main places where it matters. The other places where it matters are when you are generating a URL, it has to be able to generate it with the appropriate feature set. And mayhap that's it. The defaults are updated by that. Yeah, so that might be everything that matters on the server side. On the client side... Yeah, okay. Nothing sitting around in the beta branch for the moment. On the client side, there's even less to do. Once again, I'm going to be done with the task I intended to perform in 10 minutes, and then I go, I don't know. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was describing. I have RT on Wii audio, RT on Wii video, Jitsi audio, Jitsi video. It always has to choose one of them. All I'm changing is what it sets if you don't tell it anything. Okay. Yeah, see, because here, like, features.rt on Wii Audio is what I'm using. So, like, use Jitsi if you specifically asked for it, rather than if you didn't ask for RT on Wii. All I'm doing is, like, flipping logic, but it's easy to get wrong. That should be it. Yeah, because it's only on, like, managing the configuration flags. There's really not a lot to do here. Okay. We'll go ahead and install that. Now, this should already be changed. Error, best change ever. Rot is not defined. And this is why you run it in testbed server rather than running it directly. Web rec, web panel rec, interface. How did I even do, like, how did I manage that? This part didn't need to change. Weird typo to make. There we go. So now I have no advanced options set. Why is that set by default? Let me do a hard refresh just in case that's just weird caching behavior. Okay, that's just weird caching behavior. Okay. I'm happy with all these defaults. It is separate window. It is relatively straightforward to prove whether it's working because Jitsi is an absolute mess. It just screams and cries whenever you run it. So the very fact that it is not screaming and crying is an indication that it's working. I don't like the fact that the debugger doesn't show anything. Where's my everything? What is going on? What the hell? That was a bit wackadoo. We're just gonna... Okay. Can I refresh developer tools? No, it refreshes the entire page. But... Ha! VGA! VGA was my port. Okay, I'm not. I'm certainly not blaming on Ennuicastr on developer tools doing weird crap. I just need to make sure that it is not. Well, it's not going to be loading it from libav. That it is not, in fact, loading the Jitsi library. It is not, which is good because that means that when you're not using Jitsi, it doesn't use Jitsi. Now let's set use Jitsi for video. I don't really care whether Jitsi works at this point. I just am leaving it in the options temporarily. Eventually, I'm just going to remove it entirely. But, you know, if anybody actually needs it, then... Well, if anybody needs it, then I need to fix whatever is wrong with RT on Wii that makes people need it. This is weird. Something's up with Firefox here. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. There it is. Okay. Just needed to actually load. And yeah, this is not actually as concerning as it looks like, because Jitsi literally doesn't work on Firefox at all. This is why I'm currently fixing it. Or changing the defaults, that is. I think that's it. I think that is everything. Unfortunately, these two changes need to happen roughly at the same time, but they don't need to happen like so at the same time that I'm super concerned about it. All of the testing I've been doing has been with RT on Wii video, so I don't even need to do a like normal test round to integration test this. The very fact that like yeah, that's all I've been testing anyway. So all I'm doing is changing what the default is. Really does not need any further deeper testing than that. What? Did I not? Oh, I committed it didn't push. Little rebuild here. And a little change in the default version just to make sure that the cache reloads it. I'm not going to actually push this change just yet, because remember, we've got changes on both. Okay, now I will install these changes. BD. Now I can just start pushing stuff. Whenever I make public changes, I like to tag it with the date, just so that people can track when things were like live, so to speak. Oh yeah, there's nothing new here. And then just quickly make sure I haven't broken everything. And then do that in a different window, because I'm not logged into normal on Ennuicastr in this window. Do testing. Yep. Like I said, I already all I'm doing is changing what the default is, and I've only been testing with the new default, so I'm not doing an extensive test here since I know it works. Yep, default has changed. Yep. Okay. That was too quick. That was quicker than I needed it to be. luckily, I had another task in mind. Wasn't it named like this? Isn't that? Yeah, okay. Why did it remember nothing? So, currently when you record videos, maybe I just need to look at the video recording platform and see whether there's anything that needs more sort of dramatic fixing. But the important point is that it saves it to, so it uploads it to the host. It does not upload it to Ennuicastr itself. It uploads it to the host, and the host then saves it in local storage. And, probably also saves it to disk. But it's super cool that there's 4 and then 1. That's not confusing at all. I probably moved 4 upwards at some point and never renamed it. Does that just correspond to this? Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what's happening. Okay. I have a comment, but I didn't put the numbers here. Oh dear, that's a little bit funny. Anyway, so I would like for this to also save to the non-local forage. Does it actually store to local storage? I think it might not. Thanks for not jumping to the definition. It does. It does. I see. This splits it. This is a little bit confusing because really there are 3 options happening here. There's saving it as a stream, there's local storage, and there's remote. But I'm sort of I'm confusing the local storage and the my ability to complete the sentence. The local storage and the local saving. Really, it should always save to local storage no matter what. So I'm gonna, well, and now it's worth saying that local storage is actually local forage. And so it's not necessarily local because I'm going to put on the non-local forage backend. It's confusing enough for you? But maybe I need to do that, like, rearranging here first. Is there just, like, general betterness that I could be doing here? Could I be using readable streams? I'm already using readable streams. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I want to tee it, but I want to tee it in a slightly different way than I'm doing, and I want to have the let's call it browser storage stream. It's a bit of a long-winded name, but it'll tell me what it means. Especially if I name it stream. Why is this an any array? Wow, I implemented T. No, I didn't. Yeah, this is just because it's a readable stream. I guess because I'm using WebStream's polyfills, and those don't quite align with readable streams, that's all. Okay, no problemo. So, the problem is that T always creates 2, so what I need to do is... Actually, I don't need the cast in this case. Yes, I do need the cast in this case. And also, this is a better cast. So... and then I will T right. Because I always want browser storage stream to be going through. And it's just that there's also going to be something else. In this case, so it's a little bit odd because previously it was conditional whether there was something else, but now there's actually always 2 things happening. And it would be very strange to only save in browser storage. Like, it would be, frankly, stupid to only save in browser storage. So I'm not doing that. It's a little bit redundant. I could probably write this in a better way than I am, but it's not too bad. Oops. This is local string. You know what? I am going to write this in a better way. This is faintly too stupid for me. Because I always need this first T, so I may as well do it in a slightly cleverer way. For some reason, it's annoying me to invent the word non-browser. Yeah, so we're always going to do that first T, and then we're only going to do the second T if we have to. We're always going to do browser storage, but I'm going to push other things onto it. And that just simplifies these cases, because now remote storage, or remote stream rather, just equals non-browser, rather than having to do extra T's and such. And now the major issue is that do local is kind of doing 2 things. How did I manage to write? Sometimes my typing is very weird. Like, this turned into that. Like, how did I get all those how did I get 2 asterisks in? Nope. Nope. Browser storage stream. So basically, I'm going to split save video. Do I really have 2 calls to save video? So this should be save video file, just to make it clear what it's doing. Ah, clever. Yeah, this is when it's getting it incoming from the remote side, so it's going to use the same functionality to save it, save video file. Yeah, this is what doesn't need to be happening, either as a stream or into local storage or both. How needlessly complicated. Ah, I see. I'm now making it unconditional to store it in the browser. But I think that's correct. I think I want it to be unconditional to store in the browser. I forgot that that was conditional. So let's just not. There's no longer any splitting because I already did the splitting. And this is only the local storage. Oh, wow, this was like so needlessly complicated, and I'm really like wildly uncomplicating it. Yeah, I don't need this to be a promise anymore. Wow, this was a mess. It's good to make messy code less messy sometimes. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but it is nice to do. Yeah, because that's saving into the browser. This can go... Look at this. I've just reduced that like 50 lines to 3. Amazing. Okay, and once again, like, I don't need any of this shit. I don't need any of this shit. I don't want any of this. Wait a minute. This is the one I do want. I don't want any of this. Don't want that. There's no longer any reason for this to be a promise. And that's how you reduce two needlessly complicated functions into... Oh no, one needlessly complicated function into two simpler functions. Which may or may not work. I think this is definitely something to be tested in Chrome rather than Firefox, although, I mean, it should work in both. There's no reason it shouldn't work in both. Maybe I will test it in Firefox instead. Oh, no, you don't. Ah, yes, of course. Because I take an input stream, and previously I separated this into two streams, but I no longer do, so I can just use stream. Look at that, more simplification! It only gets simpler! I've decided I am using Firefox. so in the host menu, yep. All of that is correct. This doesn't recognize the camera because it's running in a virtual machine. I should be able to share the screen, though. It does say saving one video stream, but I don't see... Oh, there it is. Okay. Just takes it a moment to detect what the heck's going on. That is... Let me give it enough action that it's actually going to take some space. Okay, yeah, that bumped it up to 1.3 megs. I always get a little bit concerned when it seems like impossibly small, but you know, sometimes it's impossibly small because there's just not really that much going on in the video, so like, of course it's small. Okay, and if I say unshare my screen, then yep, that will finish. That was an incredible 3.1 megs. And can I quickly check whether it is in the local file system as well? Yes, I can, like so. Yep, there it is. Test Firefox video. That should be the same as that. 3.1 megs. Yep, I'm willing to believe that those are the same file. Just to make absolutely sure. Yeah, okay. So it is saving in both places, but that was just like step 0. It was just a little bit of simplification. The real important part is non-local forage. What did I name non-local forage? I'm positive that I made a, I put it on NPM. Did I not? Did I not put it on NPM? Yeah, this wasn't up to date. Okay, well, I better actually put it on NPM before trying to do more. Unfortunately, that's something that kind of has to happen in the background. Like that can't happen in this window. Why don't I have my phone with me so that I can authenticate to NPM? Who knows? Step 0 officially complete. This is version 0.0.2 and rightly called so. Before I make any of this public, I have some more cleanup to do in non-local forage, but I at least have some things. on. What is this low vulnerability thing? What even is this? The hell is ES5X? This will probably do nothing. Yeah, that did nothing. That did nothing to my actual package manifest, that is. Okay, so all of the non-local storage stuff is actually in this file storage interface. All the local storage stuff, that is, in this file storage interface that I made. And I need to remember how that works, too. I probably need to... I need to sort of be aware simultaneously of the local and the remote, and sort of allow files in either place. I was expecting that to be more than 80 characters. I was so prepared for it, I'd switch the comment type. Okay, non-local forage is slightly complicated in that there's a local component, a non-local component, and a cache component, and you actually talk to the cache component. Lol. So I'm going to have local be a local forage or null or null. No, wait. This is a literal. Let's make sure that I know how literals work. There we go. Non-local, which is a local forage or null, and cache, which is a local forage or null. And then I will initialize that if I should. if it seems like a good idea at the time. There might be a saxophone playing in my ears right now. Any bobbing of my avatar is strictly the Astor Piazzolla and Gary Mulligan in my ears. Okay, so the file metadata is stored in JSON. That makes sense. Shouldn't really call this local storage. Let's call it local file storage and non-local file storage. I want to rename this because there's now 2 file storages, and it'll get a little bit confusing if I don't bear in mind that they're not the same. Of all stored files. I guess that's the metadata, fine. It's not the actual content. What a hideous way for me to write this. Oh, yeah, yeah. It is a file info array. Fine. I feel like I'd better give this a type because I'm going to be... you know what? Now I've got a better idea. Yeah, look at this. I'm not even using it. I'm not even using the return from get file storage. All that does is make sure that it's set. Am I ever using it? No. That's funny. That's a bad name. I'll just have it called init. That's, and then I won't return. And the reason I'm doing that is that what I'm really going to do is have init local file storage, init non-local file storage, and then init file storage that does both. And that way I don't have to worry about the, like, renaming everything just to initialize both. Oops. This type is now incorrect. This is a promise of nothing. Love me my promises of nothing. I don't remember why I load local forage asynchronously. I feel like I could just have it bundled. Probably should just have it bundled, but I don't, do I? And I think I have all of the variable info? No. Types, that is? No. Great. Cool. Really thought I had types. Yeah, I never added the types to this. I guess I'd better do that. Yeah, this is not useful. No, that's right. I didn't expose the types because it's so weird how it connects to, well, everything. So actually the types are less useful than you might think they are. Yeah. Okay. New thought on the correct way to do this. Obviously, there's no reason to do this regardless. Yeah, because literally all you can use these for is these variables: cache forage, Google Drive local forage, and Dropbox local forage. That's it. Is that really how I named them? I named the ones that are strictly not local, local, and I named the one that could technically be local without the word local. Sometimes I make bad decisions, okay? Okay, so here's the trick. Non-local forage, no, non-local file storage dot non-local, or I should initialize local first, I suppose, dot local gets to be a local instance non-local file storage dot non-local is a non-local instance. Oh, interesting. I'm not awaiting create instance there. I guess because I'm assuming with a local storage, it's always going to be, like, it's never going to be asynchronous. But I guess for consistency's sake, I should probably always await. Interessante. I was going to say, how is it even possible that this isn't asynchronous? Answer, it is asynchronous. Now, obviously, I need some kind of GUI to select the particular driver and all that madness, but as a first step, I am just going to force it to be Google Drive and just force a bunch of crap in directly just because it'll be quicker for the initial testing. Obviously, it's not the long-term solution. I mean, a lot to do with local forage is not going to be the long-term solution. I need to make some just general fixes. How did I get choice? Where did I get choice? What is choice? Okay, whatever. Store keys in their own local forage instance. Oh, right. That's that kind. Oh, man. This requires many, many layers. A little bit unfortunate, but not a lot that can be done about that. That's keys as in not the key value pairs keys, but as in like the key and lock keys. This can actually just be called Ennuicastr file storage. That's completely correct and accurate and exactly what it is. Excuse me while I stick some giant sequences of text into this. There's nothing you can do with those because they are protected by the URL, and all they let you do is access your own account anyway. Also, cock. Okay, that should be it. And we need request login. And the main point of this is that logging in has to be an active action. Yeah, it has to wait for an on-click, so. We'll just leave that as nothing. That'll work. Hint, that won't work. I've been wearing headphones with a wire recently due to plugging them into a musical instrument, a MIDI instrument, and I have a phantom wire hanging down my back. I can't, like, every time I move, I grab to make sure the wire doesn't get caught on anything, and it's not there. There's no wires. It's a phantom wire. Right, and then we need the cache. This is easily the weirdest component of this entire thing. The driver is cache forage. It's not technically needed, but it's a very good idea. It just makes all of the uploading happen in the background. The local is non-local file storage.local, and the non-local, the non-local, oh my god, I can't spell, is non-local file storage.non-local. Ain't that easy. And again, eventually this is going to have to be controlled by options somewhere. You have to be able to choose whether and where to store things non-locally. And I honestly cannot even remotely think how I'm going to do that, because it's going to be a little bit, well, it's going to be a lot complicated, to be honest. This takes, yeah, readable stream. Yeah, okay. I'm just reminding myself how any of this works. Oh, this isn't a very long file. Holy shit, this is only 338 lines. Good job, me. Basically, I'm just trying to think, where do I need to, like, do it twice versus where do I need to check if it's in one, check if it's in another, etc., versus which of these functions should I really just call twice, or have a front end that calls it with both back ends, that kind of thing. Because, like, clear expired, I should just call twice. You just clear expired in both places. Delete file, I probably should just call twice. I'm going to think while I refill my drink. And we're going to see how far away this remote lapel microphone goes. If you can still hear me, I'm still thinking. Basically, the complication I'm currently thinking about is that if I have both, then there are two places for files to have names. And they can absolutely get out of sync with each other. If nothing else, they can get out of sync with each other because you could log in at any time, and the non-local storage is non-local. So it could have data that that was recorded on, like, a different computer. I'm not currently thinking about race conditions like when they're both being accessed at the same time, but there's certainly ordering violations. Do I... do I want file storage to be exposing only one user interface? Or obviously, I only want to have one user interface, but do I want file storage to be a module, basically? Should I be making a file storage class, and then you simply have a file storage for the local storage and a file storage for non-local storage? And that way, if there's conflicting file names, who cares? They're effectively different directories. Yeah, trying to overlay these was not a good idea. Trying to overlay these is the wrong way to go. In fact, this has all been so wrong that I'm going to go like this. Oh God, what have I done? And instead, I'm going to take the approach of turning this whole thing into a class. Yeah, and then file storage will just be backed by a local storage or a non-local storage, and I'll just have different constructors to do the different things. So this will take a little bit of rewriting, but no big deal. No reason to not make this public, frankly. I can just expose the local storage itself, and I think that might be the entire constructor, not exactly a complicated thing to construct. And I'm just going to start by just indenting everything. And the annoying thing about indenting everything is I just put a bunch of white space errors in there. And I just remove them. Now there's a 0% chance that I haven't busted anything. Oh, for example, the file metadata type does not belong inside of another type. That was very broken. Create 1 instances. What a mess. There we go. Export is not needed anymore. And this actually, yeah, this is nothing. This is nonsense. This no longer, yeah, this is to be separated. That's not at all correct, but it certainly belongs outside of the class. I just put everything in the class, and then the very first things I did was remove things from the class. Look, I'm making an attempt here, okay? So that's not needed anymore because file storage is by definition initialized externally. And basically I just need to do this dot in a few places. I'm going to rewrite this because it's really bothering me. we go. That is modestly less gross. The compiler will tell me when I've, what I've done wrong in this conversion, but the conversion itself still kind of has to be manual. I'm sure that there are tools that will refactor this for me, but they will not do it correctly, so... The very fact that it's a file ID instead of a file name is important here, because I will not have... the IDs will have been very out of sync with each other, even if the names were synchronized in some way, so just a real mess. It's a good thing I'm making this a class. It's a much better way to do it. It also gives me an opportunity to do little fixes like the one I just did there. Because I've been programming JavaScript for so long, I'm just not accustomed to using the backtick strings that allow you to put variables in line. Because I'm older than sand. Some of these are just like bad habits, basically. This. Yeah, I am going to need to rewrite some other things to be able to use both backends for the file storage, but it will be much, much closer to what I want in this state than in that state, so... Interesting. I mean, all I have to do is not set options.report if I'm not using local storage, but it's interesting that that's sort of internal in that way. I really don't know why I have this store counter here. Like, what do I care how many things I've stored? I'm not using that as the seed. That would be absurd. Interesting. I have just genuinely no clue why I have a random salt in the storage. Oh, it's not random. The ID is from the name. Oh, of course. The ID is from the name, but I can't trust that the name is not going to have weird crap in the key. So yeah, okay, I see. That all makes sense. Yeah. There's like security stuff here that I didn't remember is there, but it's good that it's there. No, the ID is random. The key is about security. Okay. Oops. Not underscore file storage. Looks like this refactoring is going to be the last thing I do today, even if I finish it slightly before time, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish it slightly before time. Just made that overflow, but watch as I make it not overflow again. I wonder if I actually have any indication that the writing is done. Like, it's not like I have an open files. Oh, yeah, I do. Info.complete. Answer, yes. Oh, this is just so that, okay, I remember. Store count is just so that when I'm reporting, so there's another thing I'm reporting, which is like uh, um, it's not just the amount of space that's available, it is how many downloads are happening right now. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. I'm confused. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so I just have to not use navigator.storage.estimate in the report function that I give. Fine. I don't know if I'm using it anyway. Okay, now this is completely wrong. It's actually going to be quite similar to this, more similar than I realized it was going to be. The fact that JavaScript doesn't allow asynchronous, not JavaScript and TypeScript don't allow asynchronous class constructors is the worst. Could could TypeScript even fix that? I think the answer is essentially no, not without breaking compatibility in a strange and surprising way. This isn't at all a confusing set of variable names. I can foresee no reason why that would cause anybody any confusion. Okay, now this is not going to compile at all, but all I'm actually concerned about is errors in filestorage.ts. Like, nothing else is going to be happy with filestorage.ts, but I'm only concerned about this infinity errors. Line 91. Oh yeah, lead isn't right. That's just a public member. No, I don't even want that, because that's a constructor member. Yeah, quite often when there are errors, you get these like cascades of errors that aren't actually, it's nowhere near as bad as it looks like it is. Everything looks matched. X goes to file info, await, file storage.get item, that. $103.84. Oh, why was there a semicolon there? The fact that the syntax for fields and methods is different than the syntax for variables and functions is friggin' annoying. Yeah, okay, so like this I don't care about, because this is just it saying like, did you actually finish writing that? And no, I didn't. This I care about. 175. Okay, which means, because that's a this, that I actually need const report equals, I need to make this an arrow function. Nope, that ain't right. There we go. So that I can access this. Okay, I have nothing like integrated that into the rest of the system yet, but yeah, unfortunately it's like refactoring progress rather than like major progress, so the progress doesn't feel very progressy, but this was definitely progress. Okay, bye.